Hello everybody, my name is Colby Hill. I am a composer out of the Pittsburgh area, and today I'm going to be making a Musescore 2.0 tutorial. Now, the reason why I'm making this is because I haven't seen any great Musescore tutorials out there today. So this is the program that we're going to be working in. Let me first show you how to acquire this program, and then we can work into actually learning it. So the first thing that you want to do is open up your preferred browser and go to musescore.com. Now you don't need an account or anything to use this program, and it's completely free. That's something that I really like to stress, is that to make beautiful music, you don't have to pay any money to get a program. In fact, if you wanted, you can do it like in the olden days and just use staved paper to do it. But I choose not to. I choose to use an online program. So what you need to do is scroll down here and hit get started. Now this will take you to a download page, and just hit free download, and then that will give it to you, or give you the installer rather, and then you can use that installer to download the actual program. So exiting out of this, let's open up Musescore by double clicking on it. Now this is what you'll see whenever it first comes up. You will get a start center here with just a score that I was working on for Mallet Marimba stuff. And we are going to create our first score using this start center. Now this is what you'll always use to create a score, at least it's what I always use. I'm not sure if there's any other way to do it. So just hit create new score. Now we're just going to input the title test. You can input whatever you want, and then input your name in the composer, and you can input a copyright if you'd like. I like to, because it's my work and I would not like anybody else to use it. So let's hit next here, and we can choose our instruments, or we can use a template from their wide range of them, and from a full concert orchestra to just a treble clef. And that's what we're going to use, is we're going to use just a treble clef. And this is the key signature. If you're new to this whole music thing, you don't need to worry about this yet. We'll get into that in a later episode. Also, tempo down here. This is important. This is how fast your song will go. So this is usually in 4/4 time, but there are different time signatures. For this, we're just going to input 60 beats per minute. So type 60. Okay, and then just hit next. Now, like I said, our time signature is 4/4, and our tempo is 60 beats per minute. We only want 10 measures, though. So what 4/4 means, if you're new to this music thing, is there are 4 beats per measure, which is what the first 4 stands for, and there are, each note gets 1 beat. So there are 4 notes in a measure, and a quarter note, which is 1 beat in this time signature. It's weird to explain, but once you see what we do, you'll get to understand it. So just hit finish. Okay, now we're here in our score, and we can go to this my first score and just delete it. Hit discard, and we can start inputting notes. So the first thing that we have to do before we do that is to learn how to navigate around this weird area that we have here. So to zoom, you have to hold Control and then use the mouse wheel. And then to go up and down on the score, you can just use the mouse wheel without Control. And to move your camera per se around the score area, you can just left click and then drag. So what we're going to do is we're going to almost center this, and then we are going to zoom in and move in on these first 2 bars. So this is a treble clef, and this what indicates what these 5 lines and 4 spaces note values are. So in treble clef, it is E, G, B, D, F for the lines, and for the spaces it is F, A, C, and E. So there's an easy way to remember this, and this is how I was taught it. Every good boy does fine, and face for these spaces. And this is the time signature, as I talked about earlier. 4 beats per measure, and each beat gets one, or each note gets 1 beat, rather. And then up here is our tempo, and right now we are at 60 beats per minute. And then some other notable things are the title up here, the composer, and also the copyright, but we don't need to worry about that much. So, now we can get into how to input a scale, and it's very simple, and this is just how you're going to input every note that you ever input into this program. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to click on this whole rest here. Oops, sorry, I bumped the mic. And then just hit 5, and then click on the half rest and hit 5 again. And we're also going to do that for the second bar. Now we can just move in on these 2 bars. And what we're going to start to do is input notes. Now the first way that you will do it is by hitting the end key, or you could come up here and click on this. I just prefer using the end key. And we are going to input a C, which is on the first ledger line down from the E. So input the C, and then the D, and then the E, F, G, A, B, and C. So a scale has 8 notes, which in 4/4 time takes up 2 bars. In 2/4 time would take up 4 bars. And this is a succession of notes from one note to the next that gives a nice tone. So if I say we're to throw a 2 G's in there, it would sound different. So it gives off more of a sour tone, and that's how you might want it to be, but that's not exactly how we want it to be for this. So we have C to C, and that's going to be the first way that we input, is just by clicking on the line that we want our note to be on. And now the next thing that we can do is we can hit the we can bring these back to quarter rests, and then hit N to input a note, and go back to the first note in the phrase by using the arrow keys, and then just input a C. It's going to give you a high C, but we can drag that down to a low C, and now the rest of the notes will follow by just pressing the keyboard key. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. So now we have the exact same thing that we just inputted, but quicker. So it took less time to input it like that, so that's how you're going to want to input it. You might not if you don't enjoy that, but that's how I enjoy doing it, and that's how I find it easiest. So now we're going to talk about rhythmical values instead of melodic values. And for this we're going to input a C scale, but we're going to use the simple rhythm of 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1. 2, because we've run out of room there. But for this, we're going to go all the way up to C, and then all the way back down to low C. So we're going to start by inputting a C, and dragging it down to give us a low C. And then this quarter rest is going to be turned into an 8th rest by pressing the 4 key on numpad, or on the number row on the top of your keyboard. So C, G, E, and then we're going to do F, and we're going to turn that into a quarter note by going out of notation mode and back into just regular Musescore mode. And then we're going to turn this into 2 8th notes. We're going to do G, A, okay. And we're going to turn this into a quarter rest, and then an 8th rest. G, A, B, C. And then we're going to go back down. So this we want to be a quarter note first off, or an 8th note, I'm sorry. And now we want to go back down, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do B, and then we are going to make this a quarter note and then an eighth note, and then A, G, F, and then here, E. I'm going to turn this into our eighth note, D, C. So now we have a full up, low C to low C, up, down, C scale. And now we're going to listen, and this should produce 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and. Ready? So that's the basics of inputting notes into Musescore. In the next episode, we will talk about more rhythmical things, as in 16th notes, and we also talk about whole notes, tremolos, and the advanced palettes tab. So thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.